If we knew these 10 things before moving on a boat, we would have been better prepared, saved money, had fewer headaches, and more fun. So in the spirit of community, we're sharing our learnings with you guys. So grab yourself a beverage and settle in. Well, as you can see, today is a cloudy, windy, rainy kind of day, and so we figured it would be a good time to talk to you guys about what we wish we had known before moving on a boat. We set up our clears, which we haven't used in a very long time, but this was a perfect opportunity because this whole area was getting wet with rain, but now it's staying dry and we can still use it, work out, and it's great. What's one thing that you wish you knew before moving on the boat?
I wish I knew that you need to know a lot more about electrical and mechanical stuff. I've been a sailor all my life, but I never really had to take care of the engines or all the other electrical stuff on the boat. So that was a big surprise.
Yeah, because when we had our boats previously, we were still living on land, so you could always hire somebody to come and fix whatever needed to be fixed.
Right.
You weren't necessarily totally self-reliant.
Big difference between somebody who cruises the boat, coastal weekend trips, even a week trip, and coming back to the marina, from somebody who lives in remote areas like we're doing now, where there's nobody. Either you know how to do it or you don't.
I would say like 80% of the guys that we meet were engineers of some sort in their previous career.
I
so
know.
It's a huge advantage.
Man,
Nobody told us we were going to have to be engineers.
Familiarity with plans, with blueprints, with sizing of screws and nuts and bolts, and
tune-ups, oil changes, brake relining, engine rebuild some trees.
Yeah, my brain just doesn't work that way. I'm more of a creative person, so aesthetic creative person. Right?
Your major is fashion merchandising. Harvard won't be impressed that you aced history of polka dots.
Figuring out how things work and how to fix things is definitely not my forte.
I'm not a tinkerer. That's one thing I've learned.
Yeah.
I'm not a tinkerer. I do stuff on the boat because I must, because it's a chore, because it's necessary to go from point A to point B to keep the boat alive. But I certainly do not enjoy boat work.
Right, like you were never the kind of person that would go and tinker in the garage on the car or anything like that. So
No.
If you're the kind of person that likes to tinker, then you may enjoy boat life.
Yes, you may enjoy boat life. I leased cars, so I never had to tinker on them.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Just bring it back. And I try to learn. I get down there and finagle with whatever, but
Yeah, we've been able to make it work, of course, but it's definitely a bigger challenge for us.
yeah. On our passage, both of the guys in the crew, they are both engineers, and they were like loving it. The first thing they asked for was a torque wrench.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like they were trying to come up with projects and things to fix along the way.
Or
it was
modify.
like, oh, goody, there's a problem. How do we solve it?
Or modify the boat.
Oh, God, yeah. They were, redesigning things a bit.
Yeah. So that was great.
But fortunately, we have met people that have been able to come over and give us some advice, like Gary from One Life, who came over when our freezer stopped working to kind of help us out and advise us on how to fix it, right?
Yeah, that was very helpful. Thank you, Gary.
Yes, thank you, Gary. And Brooke.
And when he came over to help us with fitting the new autopilot, the T3 RAM, it requires some mechanical components designed and built, and he helped him with the measurements. It was really very helpful.
Yes. So thanks also for that, Gary and Brooke. But that brings us to a point where we are now meeting lots of people and socializing with people, but then we go our different ways. So we found this lifestyle to be a bit more isolating than we initially thought it would be.
Wilson, where are you?
That's another thing I wish I'd known before studying this cruising lifestyle. I was always used to being around people and working with people, with teams, and now you're kind of on your own most of the time.
Well, we've decided to stay in French Polynesia this season for cyclone season instead of going down to New Zealand. So a lot of the people we met in the Marquesas and the Tuamotus and societies are now in Tonga right? So that's hundreds of miles away, and then they'll be in New Zealand, and maybe we'll see them next season when they come back up, but it's pretty doubtful, actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now we'll need to make some new friends.
Yeah.
So that's why we feel it's really important to have a purpose out here besides simply cruising, and we don't want to sound like we're complaining here, because we're not.
No.
Because we actually do have a purpose with the channel. The YouTube channel gives us a project to work on together, which we really enjoy, especially when the videos are doing well. So remember to give it a thumbs up and leave us a comment down below.
And if you haven't done so yet, subscribe.
Yes, exactly. We've talked to other cruisers out here who don't have a channel, so kind of day in and day out, they are exploring and going to the beach and diving, and really that's their full-time job.
Sounds
of course,
terrible.
I know.
Kite surfing.
I know. And maintaining the boat.
Maintaining the boat, yeah.
Right, so it all sounds like a dream, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think it's really important to continue learning, to continue doing something that challenges you, that really gives you fulfillment.
Yeah, and for those folks, maybe installing new solar panels, changing something on the boat is the purpose.
Exactly.
Just that for me, it's not. I'm happy when there's a problem and I sort it out and I fix it. Just the same as you're happy if somebody hits you on the head with a hammer for all day long and then they stop at the point you feel good.
Yeah.
That's about it for me. Others find purpose in restoring the reef, working with reef restoration organization, working with any type of, like
Local people.
local people. Yeah,
Exactly.
We met a couple in Bocas del Toro who was helping locals to dig wells for fresh water.
We met Rachel Moore on Agape, and she is really passionate about documenting scientists doing coral research and coral restoration, and that's her passion project.
And the folks on Sea Legacy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The folks on Sea Legacy, that is their mission, really. It was their whole mission behind getting the boat,
Yeah.
even, is to sail around the world and document the ocean environment and the animals within the ocean, and then act as activists for them. They're actually at the UN Assembly right now.
Yeah, and for some other people, it's just a bucket list of seeing the world, exploring different islands, seeing new places, swimming with whales, and all that. But for me, really, sometimes it's not enough.
And we found actually those people end up spending anywhere from like 4 to 6 months off the boat. They go back home to spend time with friends and family.
Yeah, and we don't. We've been on the boat for the past...
A long time.
A long time.
We've been on the boat. We went back to Florida in February, but that was just for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Since end of May 2022, and it's now currently September 23, so just over a year, really,
Yeah,
I guess,
it's quite a
15
bit.
months or something like that we've been on the boat cruising an area that's not our home
Per se.
zone. Yeah. Now the home is where your anchor drops.
Yeah.
And then we've met other people who take a break from cruising and they actually take on a boat build project.
Yeah.
We have met other couples who have said that if they were to stop cruising, probably one of the reasons would be the lack of purpose, and that they've found a project that they feel would fulfill them on land.
Yeah, like starting up new businesses or kind of resuscitating an old business or, So I understand that. I can see that from my personal experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, of course, if you have a family and you're raising children on your boat, that's a huge purpose and a huge part of your time. So we don't have that.
Right. I mean, we just have Yoda.
Yeah.
But she's rather easy. Though, having a dog does get you off the boat more often, for sure.
Yes.
We have to make sure that she gets enough exercise.
It's a big commitment.
Mm-hmm. Right. And that brings us to toys. All the paddle boards, the windsurf, the wing foil, the kite surf, the dive gear, all of those.
That we don't have.
Well, we have some of them. We now have a paddle board, and it's unfortunately broken. It's leaking. We bought the last floor model and
It was a great
at
deal.
a great discount, but it's leaking, and so we need to fix it.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, right? The more things you have, the more things you have to fix.
Yes.
The more things that are going to break. And getting things here in Maria is not easy.
Or anywhere. We got a regulator in Panama.
Yeah, right. We bought a regulator in Panama, and we use it. We didn't use it until we got in French Polynesia, and we realized that there's something wrong with it, and it's leaking air, so it needs to be serviced. But like to go and have it serviced is like we don't have a car, so we try to get the bus. The bus system is non-existent virtually.
Yeah. So you buy stuff on transit. You think, oh, that's great, I have it now. Well, warranty is kind of an ephemeral concept in these parts, and when you're away from home.
The one thing we did wish we had bought was a dive compressor.
Yes.
We thought that it would be kind of easy to fill up the tanks, but it's not. I mean, even though everybody else, a lot of people in the Anchorage do have a compressor, you feel kind of weird asking them to fill your tank. I mean, even if you offer to pay them, it's not the money necessarily. It's like the inconvenience. So,
time, the inconvenience. They're trying to fill their tanks. It's very loud.
Yeah.
And so yes, some of our friends here have offered to fill our tanks, and
Which is super nice. Yeah, people have filled our tanks. It's just more of us feeling like
awkward.
we're imposing on them.
Yeah, I think it's important to outfit your boat in the U.S. or wherever you are that you're gonna, have it boat delivered and commissioned, and put the stuff that you think it's necessary. And it's very hard. As we said, we didn't know what we needed, and you only learn that as you go. So I think by watching videos like ours, you can get an idea of what you would like to have.
How much time are you going to have to spend doing all your different hobbies? That's the thing. Like if you're purely cruising, then you can probably get all the toys you want. You're still working full-time, or part-time even, or have kids that are going to take up a lot of your time.
Yeah.
Another thing we wish we knew is really how few things you need on a boat, like clothes and shoes. Under our bed, I have like 3 big bags of clothes that I haven't even touched for 3 years, and I'm sure they're just like getting moldy under the bed. But we're still carrying around all that weight. So it's a more minimalist lifestyle when it comes to certain things, but with others like tools and spare parts, you want to have all the tools you think you need, right?
Yeah, you want all the tools that you think you're gonna need and more. Don't worry about the weight. Clothes, we're looking forward to finding a place where we can donate some of our stuff.
Exactly.
As you probably noticed, I always wear same shirts.
Yeah, we always wear the same things.
But the tools you can't find. I'm missing some wrenches. I'm missing some stuff I wish I brought.
I know, yeah, and it's funny, I can remember back to our conversations when the boat first got delivered, and we were like, listen, we don't want to have too many tools because they're heavy.
Yeah.
No, you want all the tools.
All the tools you can carry.
And spares, for sure, because we realized, for example, we thought we had the filter for the generator, the oil filter for the generator, and somehow we just, I guess, had gone through them, and it would have cost how much on Amazon?
On Amazon was $45 for 3, and he asked for $50 for 1. It wasn't the right one. We had to ship it over from Tahiti, which was another $30.
Yeah, we had to get a courier to deliver it here to Maria, and that was another $30. Spares.
So, spares, all the spares and more. Oil.
Yep.
All the oil changes, at least 3 oil changes with you at all time, or bare minimum for a generator. Because then again, your generator we didn't think we were going to run it that much. We didn't run it that much in the Bahamas, but here we've been running our generator quite a bit.
Yes, it has been a lot cloudier than we expected here, and we are running the generator
almost every day.
Yeah,
a couple hours.
Almost every day for a couple of hours, and that leads us to another thing we wish we had known before moving on a boat is the amount of solar.
Yeah, more solar.
We wish we had more solar for sure, at least double, but not only double the solar, but also an alternative way to create energy like the alternators on the engine, and in our case, we do like to have the generator.
High output alternator on the engine, which is great because we can really charge fast.
And we did have a spreadsheet that we used to forecast our power consumption, but we didn't really understand how much this monitor was going to use and how much the NAS, the storage device down below, was going to use. And of course, Starlink wasn't even a thing back then. So we used more power than we really thought we were going to.
So we were running the boat at 20 amp hour before, and now it's more like 40, 50 amp
Yeah,
hours.
it's like, 35, 40. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In an ideal world, the manufacturer will give you a list of the tools that are necessary for your particular boat, because there are nuts and bolts on the boat that are particular sizes, and the engine has particular sizes. So it'd be nice to just carry those to save weight, but you don't learn all those nuts and bolts until you're out in the sea. So you have to.
Or like in a remote
in
part
a
of
remote
Panama.
part of Panama, yeah.
Thanks so much for watching this video. We hope you maybe even learned something, but definitely let us know if you enjoy this format down in the comments below. And even if you didn't enjoy it, please, we want to know.
For example, would you like to know how much coffee we drink? A lot.
Fabio drinks a lot.
Yeah. If you have questions about your specific situation, something you would like to know about setting up for your dream on your boat, we would like to help. So let us know in the comments or email us.
Yeah.
And we'll be happy to help you plan your dreams.
Thanks again for watching, guys.
Cheers.